Time doesn't expose people. Pressure does. And pressure tells the truth faster than years ever could. There's a strange kind of arrogance that shows up when people think they've figured you out at first glance. They see your face, your energy, the way you move through the world with a lightness they lost a long time ago, and they make a lazy conclusion. Too young, too soft, too easy. They assume you haven't lived enough life to know anything worth respecting. And that assumption is exactly where they go wrong. Here's a quiet fact most people don't like to admit. Stress ages the body faster than time does. Chronic bitterness, unresolved anger, and constant competition don't just drain the mind, they rewrite the face. That's why some people look exhausted at 30 and others look strangely untouched at 50. It isn't skincare. It's nervous systems, emotional habits, and the weight people choose to carry every single day. When you show up looking younger than your age, it does something unsettling. It disrupts the unspoken hierarchy. People expect age to come with authority and weariness to come with wisdom. But when you carry depth without the visible damage, it confuses them. And confused people don't get curious, they get bold. They test boundaries they should have respected. They try things they wouldn't dare attempt with someone who looks seasoned. There's also a slightly funny side to it. Someone with permanent tension in their shoulders will always believe the calm person hasn't worked hard enough. To them, peace looks suspicious. Youth looks undeserved. And suddenly they're trying to lecture you about life while their body is clearly filing a complaint against them. What they don't realize is that looking young isn't an invitation. It's a receipt. It shows discipline, emotional intelligence, and the refusal to let chaos rent space in your body. And when people mistake that for weakness, they don't just misjudge you, they volunteer themselves for a lesson they weren't prepared to receive. This is about why being underestimated because of your youth is not an accident, not a curse, and definitely not your problem. It's the moment people reveal how shallow their measurements really are, and how powerful yours have always been. Number one, your youth isn't cosmetic, it's psychological. People assume looking young is about good genes, clean living, or luck. That's the surface explanation, and it's usually wrong. Real youth is preserved in the mind first, and the body simply follows instructions. You didn't stay youthful because life was easy on you. You stayed youthful because you didn't let life turn you rigid, resentful, or emotionally congested. Most people age the moment they decide they know everything, when curiosity dies and defensiveness takes over. You refuse to calcify like that. Psychological youth shows up as flexibility. You adapted instead of breaking. You learned instead of doubling down on bad habits. While others locked themselves into bitterness and called it experience, you stayed open without being naive. That matters. The body responds to the way the mind processes stress. A mind that releases tension doesn't signal the body to stay in fight mode. Over time, that shows in posture, expression, energy, and yes, the face. You also didn't build your identity around pain. Many people unknowingly age themselves by rehearsing old wounds daily. They relive betrayals, failures, and disappointments until their nervous system never gets a break. You processed things, took lessons, and moved forward. That forward motion keeps the psyche light, and lightness slows aging more than any product ever could. Another uncomfortable truth is that psychological youth comes from self-trust. You didn't need constant validation to feel real. Needing approval exhausts people. It creates anxiety, comparison, and chronic tension. You avoided that trap early, even if you didn't know you were doing it. Peaceful self-acceptance is quiet, but it's powerful, and it preserves vitality. That's why people misjudge you. They think youth means inexperience because they equate wisdom with weariness. They don't understand that some people mature without becoming heavy. Your youth isn't a mask hiding ignorance. It's evidence of emotional intelligence, resilience, and restraint. You aged slowly because you lived cleanly on the inside. And when others underestimated you, they weren't seeing less depth. They were seeing the result of depth handled correctly. Number 2, they confuse softness with weakness. People have a habit of measuring strength by volume. Whoever is loud, aggressive, or constantly asserting themselves gets labeled powerful. Anyone calm, polite, or gentle gets underestimated. When they met you, they didn't see force because you weren't forcing anything. You didn't announce your capabilities or walk around performing toughness. So they filled in the gaps with their own assumptions, and those assumptions were lazy. Softness is restraint, not absence of power. It's the ability to stay measured when chaos is available. Most people don't choose calm. They collapse into it only after they're exhausted. You chose it early. That's why they got it wrong. They thought you were harmless because you didn't rush to dominate conversations, flex authority, or react to every provocation. In their world, silence equals submission, and kindness equals fear. That misunderstanding gave them confidence they didn't earn. What they failed to understand is that weakness seeks control, while strength allows space. Weak people need to intimidate, interrupt, and overpower to feel relevant. Strong people don't. You didn't need to prove yourself in every room, and that made them believe there was nothing there. They mistook your emotional regulation for lack of spine. There's also a deeper layer. Softness usually comes from self-mastery. You knew how to manage your emotions instead of letting them manage you. That alone puts you ahead of most people, but it's invisible to those who only respect force. They didn't recognize discipline because it wasn't loud enough for their taste. So they pushed boundaries. They spoke recklessly. They tried to test you in subtle and not so subtle ways. Not because you invited it, but because they felt safe disrespecting someone who didn't look dangerous. What they didn't realize is that real danger isn't noisy. It's controlled. It shows up only when necessary. When the line was finally crossed and you responded even lightly, it shocked them. The calm person having limits is always unsettling. They expected endless patience and found structure instead. That's when the narrative changed. Softness stopped looking like weakness and started looking like choice. You weren't gentle because you couldn't be firm. You were gentle because you didn't need to be anything else until it mattered. And by the time they understood that, they had already misplayed their hand. Number 3, you didn't age because you didn't live to impress. Most people age faster not because of time, but because of the constant pressure to perform for others. They spend years trying to fit into molds, chasing approval, and proving their worth to people who often don't even notice. That constant emotional labor leaves marks. Lines on the face, tension in the shoulders, a weight in the eyes. You, on the other hand, didn't fall for that trap. You didn't build your life around what others thought or demanded. You lived for alignment, not applause, and that makes all the difference. When people try too hard to impress, they amplify every insecurity they have. They overcommit, overreact, and exhaust themselves in invisible ways. You avoided this silently. You didn't need validation to feel real, and because of that, you preserved energy that most people waste on empty performance. That energy didn't just keep your body younger, it kept your mind lighter, sharper, and more focused. You understood early on that living inauthentically ages people faster than stress, diet, or genetics ever could. Another reason you remained youthful is that you didn't let judgment dictate your choices. People who age quickly often do so because they let the world's opinions sculpt them. They carry criticism like bricks, stacking weight on their shoulders without even realizing it. You discarded unnecessary weight. You let only what mattered stay, and that careful curation protects more than just peace of mind. It protects presence. your body, your posture, your very aura reflects that intentionality. You also didn't waste life pretending to be someone you're not. The energy it takes to maintain facades wears people down over time. You showed up as you, unapologetically, and people either adjusted or drifted away. That clarity of self doesn't just preserve youth, it amplifies it. A person who lives to impress ages in reverse order. First the spirit, then the mind, then the body. You lived differently. You preserved all three. That's why when people look at you, they misjudge your experience. They see youth and assume naivety. But what they're really seeing is wisdom that doesn't need to shout to exist. Your youth is quiet power, maintained by the refusal to play for anyone else's approval. Number 4, your presence disrupts their timeline. There's something unnerving about someone who carries depth without the visible scars most people wear as badges of experience. When they see you, their internal calendar stutters. They expect age to equal wisdom, experience to equal weariness, and toughness to equal dominance. But you don't follow that predictable script. You move through life with clarity and composure, and your energy doesn't fit into their pre-made boxes. That's why your presence is unsettling. It forces people to question their own pacing, their own choices, and the ways they've been measuring themselves against everyone else. Your youthfulness, combined with your depth, is a contradiction they weren't ready for. They assume someone who looks unmarked by life couldn't possibly have endured, learned, or overcome. They expect their experiences to place them above you, but your alignment and quiet confidence show them a different equation. Time didn't grind you down because you didn't let it. You lived strategically, carefully, and intentionally, while others allowed every small irritation, every petty conflict, and every meaningless expectation to erode their presence. That imbalance makes them anxious. They didn't anticipate meeting someone who embodies maturity without exhaustion. It's also why people sometimes overstep with you. They mistake your calm and youthful energy for naivety or inexperience. They push boundaries, speak recklessly, or attempt to assert dominance, thinking your composure is weakness. But their discomfort grows because, even when they try, they can't reconcile your quiet power with their own assumptions. You disrupt the hierarchy they've built in their minds, and that disruption isn't subtle. It rattles them. Your very existence forces reflection, even if they resist it. Your clarity, your discipline, and the way you carry yourself are constant reminders that life isn't about showing off battle scars. It's about moving through challenges without letting them leave permanent marks. That's why your presence is magnetic and intimidating at the same time. They misread you because they can't grasp that strength doesn't always scream, and that time doesn't always tell the whole story. You disrupt timelines, and the truth is, they weren't ready to witness someone living so far ahead of their expectations. Number 5. They underestimated you because you didn't broadcast pain. Most people wear their struggles like neon signs. Every setback, every betrayal, every slight is announced, analyzed, and recycled until it becomes part of their identity. It's how the world expects you to measure worth, by how loudly you suffer, by how visibly your pain marks you. You didn't follow that script. You endured privately, processed quietly, and carried lessons without turning them into performances. That alone made you a mystery to them, and mystery makes people uncomfortable. They assumed silence meant softness, invisibility, or even emptiness. They saw the absence of dramatics and thought there was nothing beneath the surface. That's the error they made. Your composure wasn't ignorance, it was mastery. You didn't need to validate your experience through others' recognition. You processed, healed, and evolved on your own terms. The truth is, those who broadcast pain often do so because they haven't learned to manage it, while those who don't are quietly building resilience that can't be faked or forced. By not airing your struggles, You gave them the illusion of control. They thought they could define your limits, underestimate your capacity, or even manipulate you. But every boundary they tested, every assumption they made, was met with internal strength they couldn't see. Your power was never in volume or aggression. It was in the unshakable quiet that comes from surviving without needing applause. There's also a subtle edge to it. People who reveal every wound often invite judgment, pity, or manipulation. You avoided all three. You turned life's hardships into internal tools rather than external signals. That restraint is rare and disorienting. They didn't just misread you, they miscalculated the depth of your endurance. By choosing discretion over display, you created an invisible armor. You allowed them to misjudge you, but it worked in your favor. They underestimated, and you outlasted. Your pain, handled silently, became your advantage, and the shock they eventually felt wasn't because you were untested. It was because you were tested and emerged unbroken, unshaken, and untouchable in ways they never imagined. Number 6, you matured internally while appearing externally untouched. There's a quiet kind of power in growing without showing the wear and tear most people associate with experience. You didn't let life write its story across your face or posture. You absorbed lessons, endured challenges, and learned truths that would have aged most people years, but you carried them internally, like a hidden arsenal. The result is paradoxical to outsiders. Someone who appears light, almost unscathed, but who holds the depth and wisdom of someone who's seen more than they let on. That contrast unsettles people because they instinctively want to measure strength by visible struggle, and you don't give them the evidence they expect. Your internal maturity comes from the discipline to process life instead of reacting to it. Every frustration, every betrayal, every setback became a lesson rather than a scar. While others show what they've carried, you refined what you carried. That refinement is invisible, yet it radiates in your decisions, your composure, and the subtle confidence you exude. People often misinterpret it as inexperience or naivety because they can't see the inner battles you've won. They see the calm exterior and assume it's effortless, but the truth is it was earned, quietly, over time. Another part of this is emotional regulation. You learned to release what wasn't yours to keep. Most people age not from the passing years, but from the emotional baggage they carry. You avoided that trap, which is why your presence feels untouchable. Your body, your energy, your expression. Everything about you suggests vitality and youth, while your mind holds clarity and strategy few can comprehend. That combination makes you a disruptor in subtle ways. People who rely on visible struggle to gauge experience are thrown off balance. They don't know how to engage with someone whose wisdom isn't broadcast, whose resilience is understated, and whose presence is calm yet commanding. You matured internally without the usual outward markers, and that invisible mastery gave you a kind of freedom others envy but can't achieve. Your strength is both quiet and undeniable, and it forces everyone around you to reassess their assumptions, even if they'll never admit it. Number 7, you didn't inherit stress the way they did. Stress isn't just about deadlines or responsibilities. It's often a generational inheritance. People carry tension, anxiety, and fear from family patterns, societal expectations, and unhealed cycles, and it shows in their bodies, expressions, and energy. You didn't inherit it the same way. You recognized early that you didn't have to absorb every worry, every unspoken rule, every limiting belief handed down to you. That choice alone sets you apart, and it's why people often misjudge your vitality. They see the calm, youthful energy and assume it's luck or naivety, when in reality it's deliberate. Most people age faster because they internalize chaos that isn't theirs. They replay old conflicts, carry grudges, and constantly measure themselves against impossible standards. That tension hardens them. It shows in posture, voice, and the subtle lines etched into their faces. You, however, refused to give space to things that didn't belong in your life. You processed, released, and chose your battles carefully. That selective intake of stress didn't just protect your mind, it protected your body, your energy, and your presence. Your immunity to inherited stress also comes from awareness. You observed patterns instead of automatically repeating them. While others unconsciously amplified every fear and limitation they were exposed to, you questioned, filtered, and adapted. That filtering process is invisible but profound. It allows you to move through the world with clarity, poise, and a quiet confidence that confuses those who measure strength by struggle and visible effort. There's also an edge to this. People often assume someone who doesn't carry the same visible tension hasn't been tested, hasn't endured, or doesn't understand real life. That assumption is their mistake. Your calm exterior isn't absence of experience. It's mastery over the stress most people inherit blindly. It gives you a freedom and a clarity they can't touch, and it makes your presence magnetic, your energy light, and your appearance younger than your years. You didn't inherit their chaos, and that distinction isn't just noticeable, it's unsettling to those who live weighed down by it. Number 8. They tried to dominate you to feel younger themselves. There's a quiet, almost childish energy in people who try to assert control over someone else just to feel alive again. They see your calm, youthful energy, the way you move through life without the visible weight they carry. And it awakens a part of themselves they've long buried, the part that remembers freedom, curiosity, and untapped potential. Instead of reflecting on their own stagnation, they project, they push, and they attempt to dominate. They mistake your presence for a challenge to be conquered, not a mirror of their own lost vitality. When they lash out or act aggressively, it isn't about you. It's about them scrambling to reclaim a sense of youth, relevance, or power. They want to test limits, provoke reactions, and see if you'll crack under the pressure they think should break anyone. But you've always operated differently. Your energy isn't dependent on external validation or comparison. You carry a quiet, self-contained power that doesn't require them to acknowledge it. That makes their attempts to dominate futile and frustrating. Most people don't understand this dynamic. They think asserting dominance over someone younger looking will automatically give them a sense of control or superiority. In reality, it exposes their insecurity. They reveal the very fragility they try to hide, while you remain untouched, calm, and unshaken. The irony is that your presence forces them to confront the gap between their external aggression and internal emptiness, even if they refuse to admit it. There's also an understated elegance in not reacting the way they expect. While they scramble to feel strong, you preserve your composure and clarity, letting their energy reveal itself fully. They misread patience for weakness, kindness for vulnerability, and calm for ignorance. By the time they realize their mistake, they've already shown their true nature, and you've only affirmed yours. Untouchable, self-possessed, and fundamentally aligned. They tried to dominate to reclaim something they lost. But what they didn't understand is that you never lost it in the first place. Your youth, energy, and strength weren't borrowed. They were built quietly and authentically, and no amount of posturing could ever touch that. Number 9. Your youth triggered their insecurity, not their curiosity. When people encounter someone who looks younger than they are, yet carries confidence, wisdom, or composure, it rattles them. Instead of being intrigued, instead of wanting to learn or understand, they feel a surge of insecurity. They compare themselves, often unfairly, to what you represent, the clarity, the energy, and the effortless composure that comes from mastering yourself without broadcasting it. Your presence shines a light on the areas where they've neglected themselves, and most people don't like to face that mirror. Insecurity pushes people to act out. They try to dominate, belittle, or test boundaries, hoping to assert control over the discomfort your presence creates. They see your calm energy and youthful appearance as a threat, not a lesson. That reaction isn't about you. It's about their failure to reconcile who they are with who they wish they were. Your very existence highlights the gap between appearance and reality in their lives, the way they've allowed stress, resentment, or self-doubt to age them faster than time. The irony is that your youthfulness isn't superficial. It's not about how you look. It's about how you live. Emotional cleanliness, self-discipline, and selective energy preservation keep you vibrant. But people fixate on what they can see and ignore what they cannot. They read youth as weakness, naivety, or inexperience, because acknowledging your mastery would force them to acknowledge their own stagnation. That's uncomfortable, so they respond defensively. Even humor becomes part of this dynamic. They might joke, tease, or make backhanded remarks, trying to mask the discomfort you provoke. The more relaxed and composed you are, the more their insecurity grows, because nothing about you bends to their expectations. You remain grounded while they reveal their tension, desperation, or fear of inadequacy. Your youth triggers a reaction because it's a reflection they cannot control. It exposes gaps, challenges assumptions, and forces them to confront their own mismanagement of life. And while they scramble to cover insecurity, you continue to operate from a place of mastery, quietly unbothered and utterly untouchable. Their discomfort is the proof of your power, not the reflection of their strength. Number 10, you aged slowly because you didn't internalize other people's chaos. Most people carry invisible baggage that ages them faster than time ever could. They absorb the anxieties, grudges, and dramas of everyone around them, believing it's their responsibility to manage, fix, or respond. That constant emotional overflow settles into the body, stiffens the mind, and leaves marks that no cream or treatment can erase. You didn't do that. You drew clear boundaries, kept your energy sacred, and refused to internalize chaos that wasn't yours. That choice alone preserved your vitality in ways most people don't even understand. You learned early that other people's anger, envy, and desperation aren't obligations. You witnessed how being reactive or overly accommodating drains life. So you cultivated detachment, not indifference, but selective engagement. This is why you appear lighter, calmer, and younger than people expect. Your mind didn't carry every grievance or frustration you encountered, and your body didn't bear the weight of unnecessary tension. That separation between self and external chaos isn't easy, but it's transformative. Internalizing chaos is subtle. It creeps in through casual criticism, passive-aggressive behavior, and even well-meaning advice that undermines your boundaries. Most people accept it without realizing it, and it compounds over the years. You recognized the signs early and chose not to participate in the invisible tug-of-war. By doing so, you kept your nervous system intact, your energy clean, and your expression untouched by the drama others let rule their lives. There's also a strategic advantage. People often misread those who remain unaffected by external chaos as inexperienced or naive. They underestimate your resilience because it's invisible. Meanwhile, your energy stays strong, your mind stays clear, and your presence remains magnetic. They age themselves in the effort to prove dominance or provoke reactions, while you move through life with unshakable calm. Aging slowly isn't about genetics or luck. It's about knowing what to carry and what to leave behind. You mastered that early. By refusing to absorb other people's chaos, you preserved your body, mind, and spirit. Your youthfulness is a product of discipline, clarity, and wisdom that operates quietly yet powerfully in a world where most people allow external noise to define their lives. Number 11. They expected you to fold under pressure. There's a common assumption that someone who looks young or carries calm energy hasn't faced real resistance. People naturally believe that youthful appearance equals fragility, that composure equals inexperience, and that silence equals submission. They push, prod, and test, thinking that sooner or later you'll crack. What they fail to realize is that real strength isn't always loud. The calmest, quietest individuals often carry the heaviest internal victories. Battles fought alone, lessons learned in private, and resilience forged in ways no one else can measure. You never needed to announce your capacity because you knew it intrinsically. While others relied on dramatics, confrontations, and constant validation to prove they could endure, you absorbed, adapted, and advanced without needing recognition. That invisible preparation makes the unexpected so powerful. When people assume pressure will break you, they don't realize that you've already survived pressure far beyond what they've witnessed, and you carry that experience with poise. They misread patience for passivity. They assume that someone who doesn't overreact must lack awareness or intelligence, forgetting that restraint is often the sign of ultimate control. When they attempted to dominate or provoke, they were met with quiet boundaries and precise responses. That disconnect shocks them. The pressure they expected to reveal weakness only exposes their miscalculation. They thought they were leading the game, but in reality, they were revealing their own vulnerabilities while you stayed unshaken. There's also an elegance to this approach. You don't need to react in volume or aggression. Your presence and controlled energy do the work. People underestimate how much composure intimidates, how much quiet mastery unsettles. They are impatient with subtlety because they are used to people proving themselves loudly. You've learned the power of endurance, of moving through challenges without letting them show on the surface, and that makes every encounter with you disorienting for those who misjudge your strength. They expected you to fold, but folding was never an option. They just didn't know it. Your ability to withstand pressure, silently yet powerfully, redefines what strength looks like. The quietest victories are often the most absolute, and by the time they realize it, the game has already been won on your terms. Number 12. Your youth is evidence of emotional cleanliness. Most people age not from the passing years, but from the emotions they refuse to release. Resentment, jealousy, regret, and anger act like invisible chains, slowly weighing down the body and mind. They settle in the shoulders, tighten the jaw, and cloud the eyes. People carry the burden of other people's negativity, the pain they refuse to forgive, and the fear they refuse to confront. And it shows. You didn't live that way. You practiced emotional cleanliness, deciding early what was yours to carry and what belonged elsewhere. That choice is rare, and it's why you look and feel younger than most expect. Emotional cleanliness isn't about being perfect or detached from life. It's about refusing to let toxicity lodge in your system. You processed hurts instead of rehearsing them. You acknowledged mistakes without making them identities. You let go of grudges without waiting for apologies. This quiet discipline preserves energy that most people waste on mental arguments they will never win. Your vitality and presence aren't accidents. They are the result of conscious emotional hygiene. This also disrupts expectations. People misread youth as inexperience because they don't understand that someone who ages slowly isn't avoiding life, they're mastering it. Your calm demeanor and composed energy signal that you've endured without letting the struggle define you. Your face, your posture, your aura all reflect the lessons internalized rather than battles displayed. That's unsettling for others because it challenges the common narrative that growth must leave visible marks. Emotional cleanliness gives you freedom. You move through situations without being weighed down by past failures, others' opinions, or unhealed conflicts. You react from clarity, not compulsion. People who internalize chaos and carry grudges age visibly because they allow unresolved energy to fester. You didn't. You purified your inner space, and that purification radiates outward, making your youthfulness undeniable and commanding. Your age isn't just a number, it's a reflection of your inner state. Every calm gesture, every clear decision, every light step is proof that you've mastered what most people struggle to release. Emotional cleanliness preserved not just your energy, but your power, your presence, and the undeniable allure of youth that others can't imitate. Number 13. They misjudged your timing, not your capacity. People often assume that someone who looks young or carries quiet energy is behind in life, waiting for their moment, or lacking the ability to rise. They see patience as hesitation, calm as indecision, and composure as passivity. They misjudge you because they focus on appearances rather than substance. What they fail to see is that your timing is deliberate. Every move, every choice, every step you take is calculated, not rushed. You weren't late to anything, you were preparing, aligning and growing in ways that are invisible to those who measure only by external markers. Your capacity has always existed, but it's hidden under layers of strategic restraint. You know that showing full strength too early can create resistance, envy, or unnecessary conflict. Most people misinterpret waiting as weakness, but in reality, it's a sign of foresight. You built your foundation, honed your skills, and mastered your mindset, while others were busy broadcasting effort without substance. That difference in approach is why they misread you. They compare their loud, visible struggles to your quiet, invisible mastery. Timing also demonstrates self-awareness. You understand the rhythm of life, the flow of opportunities, and the right moments to act. People who rush often burn out or stumble because they don't respect that rhythm. Your youthfulness and calmness amplify this effect. To outsiders, it looks like you haven't been tested or haven't accomplished much, but in reality, you've been incubating power, knowledge, and influence that will arrive precisely when it's most effective. There's an undeniable shock when people finally realize your timing is intentional. What they assumed was inexperience turns out to be strategy, and what they read as delay is revealed as preparation. Your capacity was never in question. It was always there, waiting for the right moment to manifest fully. They misjudged your timeline, but that misjudgment played in your favor. While they scrambled to keep up, you moved with precision, patience, and control. By the time they understand, your influence and impact have already been realized, leaving them astonished, humbled, and quietly aware that your success was never about rushing, it was always about perfect timing. Perfect. Number 14. Your appearance exposed their inner decay. There's a harsh truth most people avoid. When someone looks younger, vibrant, and composed, it doesn't just reflect their own habits, it highlights everyone else's neglect. Your youthfulness isn't superficial. It's a visible result of emotional discipline, clarity, and intentional living. When others encounter it, they can't help but notice the contrast between what they see in you and what they've allowed in themselves. Their stress, bitterness, resentment, and unresolved conflicts suddenly become obvious, not to you, but to them. Your presence holds up a mirror they didn't want to look into. People instinctively react to this contrast. Instead of admiration or curiosity, they often respond with irritation, skepticism, or even aggression. Seeing someone so aligned, so clean internally and externally, triggers an internal audit they never asked for. They feel exposed, like their inner decay is being highlighted by the very existence of your vitality. That's why people who are used to measuring life through struggle and exhaustion often misjudge, underestimate, or challenge you. They're not attacking you. They're reacting to the uncomfortable truth about themselves. Your appearance and energy act as a silent indictment of their choices. They can see the toll of carrying unnecessary grudges, internalizing chaos, and neglecting their own emotional hygiene. In contrast, your calm, youthful presence shows what intentional living looks like. A mind free from unnecessary tension, a body preserved by disciplined habits, and an aura that radiates unshakable composure. It's not vanity, it's evidence of mastery. This exposure has power. It unsettles people because it cannot be argued away. No explanation or justification can erase the contrast. While they scramble to defend their choices, you continue to operate from alignment, unaffected by their reactions. They realize too late that youth, clarity, and composure are not accidents. They are cultivated. Your vitality isn't just about looking good. It's a statement of freedom, discipline, and resilience. And that statement forces everyone who crosses your path to confront the gaps between who they are and what they could have been. Your appearance doesn't just preserve you, it reveals them. Your youth, composure, and presence are not accidents. They are the result of choices, discipline, and mastery that most people never pause to understand. Every calm reaction, every boundary you maintain, every lesson quietly absorbed, has preserved not just your energy, but your power, your clarity, and your vitality. What others misread as inexperience, naivety, or weakness is actually strategy, foresight, and resilience in motion. You aged slowly because you didn't let the world's chaos dictate your rhythm. You matured internally while remaining untouchable externally. You carried strength without broadcasting it, navigated life without unnecessary struggle, and mastered emotional cleanliness in ways that leave visible marks on no one but yourself. Every underestimation, every misjudgment from others became a mirror of their own weaknesses and insecurities. While they scrambled to assert control, prove dominance, or reclaim lost vitality, you moved silently, deliberately, and effortlessly toward alignment. Your calm, youthful energy is both a shield and a signal that strength is not always loud, that wisdom does not require weariness, and that true power is rooted in clarity, patience, and self-possession. The world may not always recognize it, but those who underestimate you reveal more about themselves than they ever could about you. Your life, your presence, and your energy are proof that being underestimated is not a setback. It's an advantage. Every challenge you faced quietly, every lesson you've absorbed, and every boundary you've maintained contributes to an unshakable strength that cannot be faked, bought, or rushed. You are living evidence that mastery, discipline, and youthfulness can coexist in a way that disrupts expectations, reveals truths, and quietly commands respect. If you found value in this, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more insights that reveal hidden power. Share this with someone who needs this perspective, and leave a comment about which point hit you the hardest. Don't forget to like the video and share it so more people can understand the unseen strength of being truly aligned and unstoppable. Stay blessed always.